after the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. That burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
What's good, Washington Commanders fans? Alright, this is your boy LiveWire Sports Entertainment. I'm bringing you this week a review edition of Washington Commander content. Alright, pretty much I'm gonna go over some of the stuff that have been going on with the mini rookie camp. You know, the ownership, the new ownership with Josh Harris doing, and the schedule. So I'm gonna dive into the mini rookie camp right now. I've been keeping up too much with it. Some of the other guys like Rio, Pedro, all of these guys been keeping up with it. Shout out to them for doing that. Even Rico from Street Scores. But seems like the buzz in rookie minicamp is Emmanuel Forbes. There's highlights of him doing very well, breaking out passes, intercepting, looking very fluid and everything like that. Now the jury's still out because it's rookie minicamp, so I'm not gonna get too hyped or overzealous about it. I mean, the dude he has a dog in him. You can't dispute that. I think that he's going. When our starters play and stop practicing, then I want to see how he does against Terry, Samuels, and Jahan. If he holds his own against them, then I could say, hey, this guy is going to have a shot going into the regular season, because we're going to have beast of receivers, not just number ones, but really good number two receivers. And that's where we have to really, grade him on. I'm saying this now because he's going to have some games where he's going to get burnt. He's going to have some games that he's not going to have good. But can he learn from it? Yeah, absolutely. Everybody says, hey, he played in SEC. I don't care where he played at. If he shows that he's every bit advertised what he was in SEC, I'm good for it. Even if he played in the ACC or the Big Ten, it didn't matter. The draft has come and gone. I mean, we all wanted who we wanted, but Ron Rivera went in a different route. That's just how it is. But I think of Emmanuel Forbes, I'm not going to say he's going to be an all-pro or, he could be a Pro Bowler. He will be a decent corner. Will he be that guy? Don't know. I mean, I can't say. I'm not going to discredit him, at any point. He's on this team. I would love for him to develop into that other guy opposite of Benjamin St. Jude, where we could say, hey, we got two lockdown corners. I would love to see that. Can he's a zone man guy. Now, could he play man? He has to develop that way. They have to put him in a position to develop him. But I will gradually work him that way. I won't just throw him on the island by himself and say, hey, you're a pick artist, you're a turnover machine. Just go out there and do that. I won't do that to him. I mean, because it would be unfair. Now, dude is slim. He's very slim now. His legs is little. I mean, I weigh 187, and I'm 6'2.5". And so, I mean, I think if he gained at least 5 to 6 more pounds, I think he'd be all right. But just being at that weight he was, hey. Now, I did listen to Fresh Moots on John Klein early in the week. And what I do, this is what I try to do. Even though if I don't put out a lot of content on the Washington Commanders I keep my ear to the streets pretty much. I listen to other content creators. I listen to other inside reporters, and then whatever news breaks, then I put it out through the week. But then most likely on the weekends, I do a whole week recap of everything that has been going on. Now, Fresh Moose was on John Klein, which I listened to earlier this week, and he was saying that how he compared himself to Forbes, how small he was when he came into the league, and he had to go against guys like Jerry Rice and all of them guys like that, and he had to, he find his way. So I mean, a lot of us wasn't happy when Forbes got picked, but regardless of what the numbers state, or how he was projected, he could be solid. He could be really solid. Now, I would love for him to develop into that, like I said, to that other solid number two, that shutdown guy, where we don't have to look, for another guy. Now we do got a lot of depth at the cornerback position. I think what they might do with not Cam Curl, but what they might do with Fuller is move him in, move him into the nickel, or you know dime formations, or whatever the case. And Washington does play a lot of cover three, so that would help. That would help too. And my thing is, you can move Forbes around. You don't have to start him out. You may not want to start him out on the opposite corner starting season. Now, when preseason come in and you put him out there and he balls out in all three preseason games, then hey, all bets are off. Then you put him out there and let him learn. But I think having Cam Curl and Derek Forrest back there. Now I think Martin could take Forrest's spot. You could move Forrest up and move Martin back there. So I don't know how they're gonna play that other safety spot. Now Derek Forrest, he plays well when he has Cam Curl next to him. When Cam Curl is not there, then it's a little iffy with him. But now they both together they was the second highest safety duo in the league last year, compared to what the Ravens safeties was. So I mean, take it for what you want. They play well together. And then see, when Cam Curl got hurt, especially when we had that 49ers game, it showed. Forrest couldn't really do things. And if you go back to the Philly game that Monday night, how Cam Curl got that not Cam Curl, but Forrest got that interception, it was, because the back end was playing together. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do think Martin and Fuller will create more opportunities in the back end where either Forrest, Cam Curl, St. Jude, whoever back there can benefit. We do have a stout defensive line up front. I'm still hearing a lot of trade scenarios for Chase Young. There was one with Kansas City, but the main one that keeps coming up is the Chicago Bears. So we just gonna have to keep our eyes and ears onto that one. Maybe he do get traded, maybe he don't. I don't know. It's just rumors right now. So don't take what I'm saying for a grain of salt and say, oh, he ain't going nowhere. You never know. We get so caught up in a lot of, prove these guys wrong. Yeah, because we love certain players. That doesn't mean certain players is going to stay with the franchise. It's the nature of sports. It happens that way. But I think the rookie minicamp is looking good. Everybody's playing fluid. Chris Rodriguez, I think he's going to have an opportune time. I don't think he's going to beat out Brian Robinson for the number one spot. So I don't see that happening. I think he's going to be a key contributor to the team. I just don't see him beating out Brian Robinson. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to get Brian Robinson in a lot of positions. I think he's going to make sure Brian Robinson, excuse me, is that number one guy. But I think all of them is going to have touches. They all gonna have they're gonna touch the ball. I think where Eric Bieniemy is gonna take that offensive mind, how they did in Kansas City, where all the running backs don't have a heavy load. They don't get worn down, and then you keep them fresh. So, because in the NFL, I mean, unless you built like Derrick Henry, then I can't see you as being a true number one. You know what I'm saying? Zeke was like that with Dallas for a long time until they brought Tony Pollard. But guess what? Zeke got worn down by that time. So it's what it is. But anyway, back to Emmanuel Forrest. I just think Emmanuel Forrest will be, he'll be a solid guy. I really do believe that. I just don't, I'm not going to anoint him and get over hype and like everybody was like, oh, he's a dog. You know, he got that dog in him, or we have not turned the ball over a lot, but at the same time, you're still gonna have to get team. Even if you're not getting turnovers, you still gotta get 3 and outs. Oh God, excuse me, man. You still gotta get 3 and outs. You still have to. You still have to get 3 and outs and be very good in the pass. If you be real good in pass defense while getting turnovers, then that's still a plus. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't have to be so much turnover prone, because you could get turnovers and your offense still won't do anything with the ball. You know, you be having great statistical stats. So with that, but anyway. That's my take on the rookie minicamp with Emmanuel Forrest. Like I said, I think he's going to be solid. I think he'll be a key contributor for this team. Will he have some growing pains? Yes. I'm not going to fool myself at all and say that this guy is not going to struggle. He's going to struggle. And we got to be optimistic, and we can't be so much caught up in so much positivity with the team and think the team nothing bad can't happen to the team. I got really hyped last year because we had a soft schedule, what it was, and I went all in. I gave Carson Wentz the benefit of the doubt at the beginning of the year until we start getting disaster. I rolled with Taylor Heineke. A lot of people argue with me about Taylor Heineke, but Taylor Heineke he won some games for us, but our idiotic coach didn't know we was able to be in the playoffs, so we lost opportunity to make the playoffs. Where you could have either had Taylor Heineke or you could have let Sam Howell started at that time. Either or, so it's what it is. But now my next topic I'm gonna dive into is ownership. Now, I've been wanting this for a long time with Josh Harris. I've been saying it for a long time. I even, been battling back and forth with guys saying that, they wanted Jeff Bezos. They thought Jeff Bezos was a lock and all of that. And I was never just firmly a Jeff Bezos because I just didn't want Jay-Z a part of the team. And if you could go back and look at some of my videos, I continue to say the same thing. As always, is that I didn't want Jeff Bezos a part of this team at all. But now that we have a new sheriff in town, over 30 years of not winning, not having a strong fan base, allegations, just a big cloud over this franchise with Daniel Snyder. And I'm gonna do later in this week a separate video on Dan Snyder, the years of Dan Snyder. I'm gonna do probably Wednesday. I might do that video to just go and highlight, the timeline through Daniel Snyder. But Josh Harris brings something that I just think Jeff Bezos didn't have. I think he has sports acumen. I think he has great sports leadership. I think he has a great sports mind, along with Magic Johnson and everything like that. If you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, even though they lost in the playoffs to the Boston Celtics today, but they've been winning. They win. You have an MVP in Joel Embiid on that team. You look at the New Jersey Devils, stay competitive. You look at Magic Johnson with the LA Dodgers and the LA Sparks. The LA Dodgers, they look like probably some say the best team in the National League, but I beg to differ because I'm a Braves fan. So, I think the Braves is the best in the National League. But the LA Dodgers is there. What we getting with Josh Harris is a guy that knows how to win and know how to put people in the right position to win. I hate to say this, but this is Ron Rivera's last year. He would not, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think Ron Rivera will make it past week 8 this year. I just don't see him making it. And if he does, I'll come back and say, well, hey, I was wrong. And I'm going to tell you why, because when I go to my next segment, I'll break it down to you. But Josh Harris is going to bring a winning formula. You got Magic Johnson, and they're going to attack the DMV area and bring it back to respectable. All I ask is that now that fans need to support this team, come to games. We've been having the Dallas Cowboys and the doggone Philadelphia 76ers coming in and really just take over our stadium. We can't have that anymore. We need to be until we get a new stadium, we need to be a loud stadium. And the main thing that I've been hearing with now that Josh Harris has taken over this team as the new owner is everybody keeps saying, oh, we need to go ahead and change the name. Oh, we need to get rid of the uniforms. First of all, let the man come in and put his mark on the team first. Y'all want all of these changes so fast instead of just be happy, just continue to support the name and the uniforms. The uniforms is good. You could tweak them any way you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you want to change the name, then that's not going to take them. That's not going to be immediately. That if they decide to change the name, it could be in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Say they change the name when they get a new stadium. That would be fitting. You know what I'm saying? Not just automatically now, or say they get a new stadium. Let's say they get a new stadium in 2027. They could change the name in 2026, a year before. Then you have a whole new rebrand, rebrand and a new stadium along with it. You just can't just sit there and say. I think sometimes fans want too much, and they expect change immediately. And when they don't get the change, because the thing about it is, even though Josh Harris is taking over this team, if this team does not win this year, then people are going to be looking at, well, Josh Harris is the owner, or he need to do this. We're definitely going to be calling for Ron Rivera here. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very optimistic. Like I said, I've been riding with this team. Yeah, sometimes I do display my age a little bit, but hey, I've been riding with this team since the 80s. That's how long I've been a Washington fan. I have seen the ups and downs, the painful, everything that goes with this team, and I just feel like now that we have to show a little bit more patience. We can't just, we have not won in so long, and we want instant success, but I think we have the right guy in place. I think Josh Harris and everything is going to be really good. I think it's going to be exciting, very new. It's going to be new, but I'm all for it. I'm gonna support Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, them all the way. Whatever changes they come and whatever they decide to do with the team, I'm not going to be one of them negative bananas to where I don't like something because it's not what I want. I mean, they have a vision, and maybe they might have a poll where fans could get in and say, hey, we would like this to happen. We would like this, and I think they probably will. And if that happened, then that's good. That's good. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I mean, with 17 investors and stuff, a lot of people think this wasn't gonna get done because of this, But I think, and I read something on Pro Football Focus today that they said they wanted Daniel Snyder out so bad that they was willing to go ahead and push the deal with Josh Harris, and say if it was not the case, then Josh Harris, they wouldn't have voted for Josh Harris. The thing about it is this: if they didn't had to accept Josh Harris' bid, if they really wanted a specific guy, but Daniel Snyder was not going to sell to Jeff Bezos. So they ain't had no choice. The league didn't have no choice but to accept Josh Harris because this is who Daniel Snyder wanted. Daniel Snyder didn't want nobody else, despite that you had Steve Appanopoulos that said he was still in the bid, and you got Brian Davis coming out there say he got $7 billion in cash on hand. You ain't hear nothing from him. He was on this ridiculous par show. I guess the Sports Junkies, whatever their name is, he made himself a laughing stock. Then Josh Harris been in the loop from the beginning of this process. And he was the number one guy. I was even told behind the scenes that this guy was gonna get it. So I already knew in my heart that Josh Harris was the guy. So, but all in all, I'm glad he is. I'm looking for what they're gonna bring. Like I said, probably Wednesday I'll sit down and bring. I'll probably do 2 videos on Wednesday. One about what are going to be the priorities for Josh Harris group with the Washington franchise. So, but now to my last segment is the schedule. Now I did touch on it a little bit, but man, this schedule is going to really make or break the Washington Commanders season. And why I said that is because we have Arizona first, a game that we should win. Then we have the Denver Broncos, a game that pretty much we could win. We should be able to win that. But at the same time, it's going to be tough, because even though Arizona might not be what they are, they're going to come out and play tough. Just like we played Jacksonville last year and we barely beat them. You know what I'm saying? We barely beat Chicago on Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? We won the game. Chicago going to be a little bit better. We know what we're getting with the Eagles. So we got the Broncos, then the Buffalo Bills. Last time we played the Buffalo Bills was back in 2021? We lost that game because we had San Diego the first game of the season. I think me personally, I think we would be competitive. I still think, even though we should beat Cardinals, Broncos, Chicago, Falcons, should probably get a game against the Giants. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 games. We could be 5-2 within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games by the time we come back and play the Eagles on October 29th. If we could split with the Eagles at home, we win that home game with the Eagles, then going into the New England Seahawks game, doing 2 games there easily gonna be tough, but I still think that we could probably win one of them 2 games. That could give us a 6-3 record at that time. That's you look at that's 9 weeks ahead. You already have to wait through your schedule, so it would be it could be pretty good for you. And then, you know, we got the Giants again. And hopefully we could sweep them this time around. We don't play around with them. Um, to me, I just think that. And then before we play Dallas on New Year's Day, on Thanksgiving, and we beat them last time on Thanksgiving, and I don't see why we can't beat them this time. Washington has a chance. Ron Rivera knows this is going to be, like I said when I was talking about ownership, Ron Rivera knows that this schedule is going to make or break his career. If Ron Rivera goes 0-4 the first 4 weeks, he's done. He's done. He's going to be fired. There is no way Ron Rivera make it through the whole season, and he's 0-4, and you going on a Thursday night game knowing that that's a must-win game, and you might not win that game and go 0-5. You fired. I guarantee you by that if we go 0-4 and we go in that Thursday night game and we don't win, he's fired. Ron Rivera will be fired. I promise you. Now, with that being said, if we go 2-2 and win that Thursday game and be 3-2, then he's safe. But still, he could still get fired, because you could go 3-2 and then you lose to the Falcons, the Giants, the Eagles again, and the Patriots. Then you'd be 3-2. You'd be 3-2. You'd be 2-2, 3-2. Then you lose 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd be 3-6. You'd be in 3-6. So therefore, you definitely will get fired. So the first 8-9 weeks of the season is very, very important for Ron Rivera. I don't say this lightly. I say this with all intent and purposes. Like I said, I got hype. I got, all in last year. But this year I'm taking a more solo approach, a more realistic approach, a more understanding approach of this team. And I'm thinking more logically than ever before, and just saying, just getting on here and, being all, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm definitely going to examine each game by game. I'm going to examine each game. I'm going to point out the flaws. I'm going to be as critical on players as possible, whether you like my content or not of them. I'm going to be hard week to week. If they do good, I give them praise that week. If they play bad the next week, I'm going to say, hey, this is what they did last week, why they couldn't do this week. Then I'm going to look at the coaching. Plain blank. It's a fair analysis. We can't be just passive, like being so passive and say, oh, well, it's just one game and all that. No, we need to be critical every game. Every game need to be a critical junction. This is the most important year in this franchise because of new ownership, and Ron Rivera knows if he does not succeed, he could be gone in the middle of the season, and he knows that. He's going to have to coach his tail off like he's never coached before. If he wants to continue to go out, he wants to continue to play out that last year in his contract, get us in the playoffs, and win a playoff game. That's it. This year, to me, I'm not taking nothing less than a playoff. I don't care if it's a wild card. If we go a wild card and we win the game, then that's success. If we get to the playoff and lose like we do all the time, getting in the playoff and lose in the first round, no, I'm not gonna be happy about it because I feel like this roster has too much talent to underachieve. I think Ron Rivera's ceiling has peaked, and I think needs somebody to come in and push these guys a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more over the top, not just sitting there and capping these guys. These guys got a lot of potential on this team, and they need somebody to push them, and not just coaching them and, oh yeah, he's a great man of men. Yeah, I get it. I give him credit for all of that. But it's time to put some wins on the table, man. We can't sit there and just not putting these on, not putting on no W's in there, and then all of a sudden we the laughing stock. It's time not for us not to be the laughing stock no more. It's time for us to be the commanders. Take command. You know what I'm saying? You know, be doing the things that we need to do. So, with that being said, continue to like and comment, subscribe to the channel. I will be back tomorrow with a live stream with a special guest, Protect. Shout out to you, my fella. We just will go over the schedule and talk some more Commanders football. But until then, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell every time I drop a hardcore video to you. Until then, hail to the Commanders. I'm out. Peace.